What's going on, guys? Eric here, driver lineup, World's OK single holder. I'm going to try to get through this video, but the little munchkin's in the back. And he may start throwing a fit here any minute. He just woke up, so we'll see how it goes. Quick video for you, though. I have a little bit of an issue with my brand spanking new driver, and he's upgrading this week, and I think he'll be fully upgraded tomorrow, and I feel terrible for him because he's kind of been going through some hell. The driver who abandoned my truck, basically, he was supposed to take my truck and just never did. Never left the yard with it, I don't even think. Instead of cutting the battery off and parking the truck, just left the APU and everything on. And I wasn't aware of that. So the truck has been sitting for several weeks with only like a quarter tank of fuel and the APU cranking and all that good stuff. So my new driver gets there, and he's awesome. I very much appreciate him, and you know, appreciate that he's going through that this problem is now his problem, and he's being okay with it. But basically what happened is, as you can imagine, the truck ran out of fuel. So there's no fuel in the fuel lines to the APU, and the APU won't start. So the battery's dead on the truck because the APU hasn't been able to run and keep the battery charged. And the battery cutoff switch wasn't hit when someone left the truck there. So it is what it is. So basically I've had to go through this like all day dilemma, not all day, but all afternoon, going back and forth with the tractor shop, which would have been very quick if they just listened to what I'm saying in the very beginning. And this is, I know some of you old school subscribers will be like, all right, Eric, go, because you guys miss my rants. And because I don't really drive anymore, I don't rant that much anymore. I don't have much to rant about. But what was always one of my rants is that, okay, there's a lot of good, competent people in road assist, and especially in a tractor shop. Generally speaking, tractor shop has been pretty good to me. But every once in a while, someone just overlooks what you're saying, and that causes a lot more work for everybody. That is especially true for road assist. Road assist much, much more so than the tractor shop. Road assist, generally, in my experience, is about as effective as a lead balloon at helping you kind of find solutions and solve problems. And in most cases for me, it was because they don't read or listen to your initial explanation, your description of the problem. I mean, I've literally had instance after instance where I spell out in great detail what the issue is in a message to road assist, and the response I get is asking questions that I already answered in the message that I sent. So clearly you're not reading what I sent. You'll read the top sentence or the first two sentences and then just start popping off questions when I already answered those questions. And then you just create more and more need for back and forth messages, and you create more work for the whole problem solving, equation, right? This is like one of my like key complaints about that whole process is just, it seems to be that they deal with so many problems coming in from drivers that they're trying to get through the ticket as quick as possible. And the problem now, while that may get the ticket moving and out of your lap, yes, it's actually creating more work for everybody involved, because you could have just solved it by actually paying more attention in the beginning. And that kind of happened today with the tractor shop, because I very explicitly explained what the problem was, and it's not difficult to understand. Here's my situation. The driver that left the truck left the APU on, and it has sat there for several weeks. There's no fuel in the lines to the APU, therefore it can't charge the battery. Okay, pretty, like, I don't know how you could take that as anything else. Okay, he's back there squeaking a toy. My son just woke up, so we may have a battle cry here pretty soon. He's got a squeaky toy right now, though. So Tractor Shop sends somebody over to jump the truck and then tells my driver to leave it running for a few hours. Okay. So clearly we missed the part of why the truck is dead to begin with. It has no fuel in the lines. So they just leave him. They jump the truck and they leave him. And I call and I'm like, hey, that truck is going to die. Like, it's going to have to be jumped again. And the guy says, well, the only reason the truck would die is if you turn the key. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, yeah, if you shut the truck off. I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, I know that's how to get the engine to shut off. Second of all, that has nothing to do with the truck not having any fuel in the lines. Why? And he's like, well, we've got the truck jumped. I told you from the very beginning, the reason the batteries are dead is because it has no fuel. So just going and jumping the truck and then leaving is not solving the problem. And then Tractor Shop's getting frustrated with me because I'm 700 and something miles away. I'm not on any of my name's not on any of my trucks. So I'm just some dude calling saying, hey, can you guys go help out with this truck that's on the lot? And it's not even my truck. Well, I mean, it's my truck, but I'm not the driver, and there's not a driver currently listed on that truck because he's still finishing his upgrade classes tomorrow. So, they tell me, well, he can drive the truck on the yard because he has his CDL, even if he's not upgraded, which is true. And I confirmed that with my night dispatcher, that he could take it over to outbound and put fuel in it, but he can't get it to outbound. And sure enough, so I call him after I talk with the Tractor Shop, and I'm like, man, they're kind of being difficult. Can you very quickly drive it over to outbound, get 25 gallons of fuel put in it, and then you can go park it wherever you want. You can drive it around the yard. As he responds and says, okay, no problem, I'll take it over, the truck dies. So now it has no fuel in the lines to the engine either. So there's no fuel in any, now it's just completely, there's no fuel anywhere. So I'm going back to the Tractor Shop. Sure enough, as I told you at the beginning of this call, now the truck will not start, not because of the battery, but because it has no fuel. So now you have to go back to jump it, and you need to take fuel to it, which if you would have done that in the beginning, this whole problem would be resolved. So it was just, there were like 3 different individuals I was talking to, and they're getting frustrated with me, and it's like, okay, I realize this is kind of a pest situation. I get it. Someone let their truck run out of fuel and the batteries died, and it's pretty stupid. I get that. From the perspective of Tractor Shop, pretty frustrating. Like it's a pest, You're fixing big problems there in the shop, and it's a pest. But the thing is, if I would have just been listened to in the very beginning, and they would have taken some fuel over there and charged it to my truck, charge me a fee for it, I don't care. But if they just done that at the very first step 1, listen to what I'm saying, the truck is out of fuel, and therefore its battery has died because the APU stopped. Then, when you take the service truck over there and you jump it, you take some fuel, put that in it, jump it, then it's done. You don't have to go do anything else. It's over with. Charge me for an hour of, tech, whatever you got to do, but it's over with. 1 step, quick, done, over with. Instead, you had to deal with me like 5 or 6 different calls going back and forth between the foreman and whoever's answering the phone in a Tractor Shop, multiple trips to the truck, multiple jump starts of the truck, and then having to go and get diesel and take diesel over to the truck. like it's, it just creates so many steps and so many calls and so many messages and so much frustration because I wasn't listened to in the very beginning. So, and this is a lot of the problem of what happens with road assist too, is I'm as descriptive and detailed as possible in the initial message, and then the response back is to ask me questions that I've already answered, or to address things that are not relevant, or to only address part and you're addressing the not important part, So anyway, that's the situation that I've been dealing with today. I feel so bad for my driver because I want his upgrade to go really smooth. It's awesome for him to be upgrading. Congratulations if you watch this video. That's an amazing feeling, and I want that to be an amazing feeling. I don't want him to have to be dealing with this problem. It's not ideal. The ideal situation is for this to be very smooth. Get in a brand spanking new truck, get out on the road and go rock and roll and be solo and go make some money, and I hate that. I just hate it. Like Jenna was just now telling me, you got to stop being stressed out, because it does really stress me out to know that he's having to deal with that problem, and even more stressful knowing that the problem was made substantially worse because someone wouldn't listen, and it sucks for him because he's had to sit in that truck this afternoon with no AC, right? No APU, no truck, just sitting over there waiting, no truck AC, nothing, just sitting there waiting for someone to come fix the problem in a hot ass truck with no power. So that really bothers me to know that that's happening and that I can't do anything. I can only do so much. I'm over 700 miles away. I hate that feeling. Hate it. Anyway, just like giving you guys an update that happened. That's my day. Hopefully your weekend is going better. I got to show you this. So this sitting right next to me, what do they call those? That one's called a slingshot. So we are with Hopper. M Hopper, a lot of you know on YouTube, in our YouTube comments and in our Discord, or when we had Discord. We've known Hopper for many years. He's a Prime driver. He's here in San Antonio, so we're about to go have dinner with him, and he rented this. He rented this to drive around San Antonio, and it looks cool. Like it's not all lit up right now, but it's got LED, like these blinking, flashing LEDs all over it in the brake pads and everything. It looks pretty damn cool. But he said it's terrible. He said when you get out on the highway, like you wouldn't be able to have a conversation with anyone riding with you. He said it's got horrible suspension. He said he was over it before he even left the lot. So apparently they look pretty cool, but they're not as cool as they sound. Anyway, he'll get a kick out of it when he sees that on the video. All right, guys, be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive, thrive. Talk to you soon.